There is power in words. There is weight in what we say. And when a man begins to speak in a way that clouds the truth, that twists reality, that deflects and deceives, you must listen, not just to the words, but to the meaning behind them. Because words are not just sound, they are a reflection of the heart. And when a man utters certain phrases, they are like warning lights flashing in the dark, telling you that something is not right. Perhaps you have heard them before. The words that slip out with practiced ease, you're just being paranoid. Words meant to make you question yourself, to make you doubt the very instincts that are calling out to you, urging you to pay attention. My friends, deception does not shout, it whispers. It does not reveal, it conceals. And when a man begins to dismiss your concerns with these 6 words, it is not because they are baseless, but because they hold more truth than he wants to admit. And then there are the words of distance. I just need some space. Oh, we have all heard it before. The slow retreat of someone who once stood close, the subtle pull away from the warmth of commitment into the cold arms of secrecy. Love does not hide in the shadows. Love does not shrink away when things become difficult. Love stands, love fights, love remains. And when a man who once held you close suddenly claims he needs space, ask yourself, space for what? Space for honesty or space for deception? But the most telling words, the most damning of all, are the ones spoken in anger, in defense, in desperation to silence the truth. Why don't you trust me? Trust is not demanded, it is built. Trust is not a right, it is earned. And the man who is truly faithful does not ask why you doubt him, but instead seeks to reassure, to affirm, to strengthen the bond that holds you together. Listen to me now. Truth will always rise. No matter how deeply buried, no matter how fiercely denied, truth has a way of coming to the surface. It may take time, it may take pain, but the light will always break through the darkness. And when it does, you must be ready to stand. Stand for what you deserve. Stand for the love that is real. The love that does not need excuses, does not need secrecy, does not need deceit. You were not made to live in doubt. You were not created to chase after someone who is running in the opposite direction. You were meant for love that is whole, love that is true, love that does not hide behind carefully chosen words. And when the words of a man betray his actions, when the phrases he speaks raise doubt in your soul, do not silence that voice inside of you. Listen to it. Because you, my friend, deserve the truth. You deserve love. And love, real love, will never leave you questioning. Words reveal the heart. There is something powerful about the words a man speaks. Words are not just sounds that fill the air. They are the very reflections of the soul. They hold meaning, they reveal intent, and they uncover the truth, even when someone tries to hide it. If you listen closely, words will tell you everything you need to know about a person's heart, their character, and their action. When a man is honest, when his love is true, his words will be filled with transparency, reassurance, and consistency. He will not speak in riddles or dance around the truth. He will not try to manipulate your emotions or confuse your instincts. A faithful man's words will align with his actions, will confirm his words. But when a man begins to stray, when he starts walking a path of deception, his words will shift. They will take on a new form, one that disguises rather than reveals. And if you are not paying attention, you may not recognize the warning signs until it is too late. Consider this. A man's words are like the leaves on a tree. When the tree is healthy, the leaves are vibrant, full of life, and consistent in their color. But when something is wrong, when the roots are rotting or disease has set in, the leaves begin to change. At first, it may be subtle. A slight discoloration, a small imperfection, but over time the change becomes undeniable. The leaves begin to wither, the tree begins to decay, and what was once full of life starts to crumble. This is how words work. They reveal what is happening beneath the surface. Now, when a man is unfaithful, whether in thought, in action, or in intention, his words will begin to betray him. It may start with subtle phrases that seem harmless at first. Overthinking things, but why are you always so suspicious? These words are not meant to bring clarity. No, they are designed to create doubt, not in him, but in you. They are meant to shift your focus away from his behavior and onto your own perceived insecurity. They are words of manipulation, spoken not to protect the truth, but to bury it. And then there are the words of avoidance. I've just been really busy. I didn't see your message. Oh, I was out with some friends. You don't know them. These are not words of transparency. They are words of deflection. A faithful man does not need to hide his schedule. A man of integrity does not need to make excuses for where he has been or whom he was with. When a man starts using vague language, when he begins dodging simple questions, understand that his words are telling you more than he wants you to know. But perhaps the most dangerous words are the ones that come laced with anger and frustration. Why don't you trust me? Do you really think I would do something like that? These words are meant to silence you, to make you feel guilty for questioning him. They are a form of emotional manipulation designed to make you doubt yourself. But hear me when I say this. Trust is not built on demand. It is built on truth. A man who is faithful does not need to convince you with words. His actions will do the talking. So, my friends, listen. Listen carefully. When a man speaks, do not just hear what he is saying. Understand what he means. Pay attention to patterns in his words, to the shifts in his tone, to the subtle inconsistencies in his stories, because words are not just fleeting sounds, they are markers of truth or deception. The truth will always leave a trail in the words a man speaks. And if you follow that trail, you will find what you need to know. It may be painful, it may be difficult, but it will set you free. Because when a man is true, his words will never leave you in doubt. But when a man is hiding something, his words will always be the first to betray him. Listen to them. They will tell you everything. Deflection and excuses when a man is faithful. He does not need to run from the truth. He does not need to twist reality, evade questions, or hide behind vague explanations. A man who walks in integrity stands firm in his words because he has nothing to conceal. But when a man begins to deceive, when his heart starts to wander, his words change. He begins to deflect, making you feel like the problem rather than confronting the truth of his actions. He begins to pile up excuses, hoping that if he says them often enough, you will stop asking questions. Deflection is one of the oldest tricks in the book. It is a tool of manipulation designed to shift focus away from what matters and onto something else, anything else. A man who is hiding something will not answer a direct question with a direct response. Instead, he will sidestep. He will turn the conversation back on you, and he will make you feel as if you are the one being unreasonable. You ask a simple question, "Where were you last night?" A faithful man will give you a simple answer. "I was at work," or "I was with my friends at the restaurant. We stayed out late." But a man who is being dishonest, his response will not be direct. Instead, you will hear things like, "Why do you always have to ask me that? Do you not trust me? I don't have to explain everything I do. Do you see what has happened here? He has not answered your question at all. Instead, he has made you the problem." He wants you to feel guilty for even asking, because if you feel guilty, you will stop pressing for the truth. This is deflection at its finest, and it is a tactic used by those who have something to hide. But deflection does not work alone. It is often paired with excuses. A man who is unfaithful does not want to be caught, so he builds a fortress of justifications to shield himself from suspicion. He tells you he has been busy with work every time he does not answer your call. He says he forgot to text you back, even though he is always on his phone. He claims he fell asleep early, even though his social media activity tells another story. Excuses are dangerous because they sound reasonable, at least at first. After all, people do get busy. Phones do run out of battery. Plans do change at the last minute. But here is what you need to watch for. Patterns. One excuse may be valid. Two might be coincidence. But when every answer becomes an excuse, when every delay has a vague explanation, when he always has a reason but never has clarity, something is wrong. A faithful man does not need excuses. He has the truth. But a man who is hiding something must keep talking, must keep explaining, must keep weaving a web of justifications, because he knows that if he stops, the truth will catch up to him. And then there is the ultimate excuse, the one that should never be ignored, just being paranoid. My friends, let me say this as clearly as I can. When someone calls you paranoid for sensing that something is wrong, they are trying to silence your intuition. They are trying to make you doubt yourself. But listen to me. Your instincts are not the enemy. If your heart feels uneasy, if your mind keeps coming back to the same questions, it is for a reason. A man who loves you, who respects you, who is committed to you will not need to silence you. He will not need to make you feel small, unreasonable, or crazy. Instead, he will reassure you. He will offer transparency, not frustration. He will answer your questions with patience, not anger. Because love does not run from the truth. Love does not need to hide behind excuses. So if you find yourself constantly being met with deflections, if the person you love always has an excuse but never has clarity, do not ignore that feeling inside you. Always reveal itself in time, but you do not have to wait until the damage is done. Pay attention now. Listen closely. Because when a man is faithful, his words will bring peace. But when a man is unfaithful, his words will only bring confusion. And that confusion is your first sign that something is not right. Emotional distance love is not just about words, it's about presence. It is about connection, about intimacy, about being fully engaged with the person you say you love. When a man is faithful, his heart is in the relationship. He is emotionally invested, he is available, he is engaged. But when his heart begins to drift, when his loyalty begins to waver, you will feel it before you see it. You will hear it in his words, in his silence, in the way he pulls away, not just physically, but emotionally. Emotional distance is often the first sign of unfaithfulness. Long before a man physically steps out of a relationship, his heart is already left. He stops talking the way he used to. The conversations that once flowed so effortlessly now feel strained, forced, or absent altogether. He no longer asks how your day was, no longer listens with the same interest, no longer offers words of affirmation or encouragement. Where once there was warmth, there is now coldness. Where once there was laughter, there is now silence. And here's the truth. Love does not grow cold overnight. Emotional distance does not happen in a single moment. It is a slow fade, a slow withdrawal of attention, of care, of intimacy. At first, you may not even notice it. Perhaps he's just tired. Perhaps he's been busy. You tell yourself that it's just a phase, that things will return to normal. But days turn into weeks, and before you know it, the man who once looked at you with love in his eyes now barely looks at you at all. When a man is emotionally distant, his words change. Instead of saying, I miss you, he says, I've just had a lot on my mind. Instead of saying, I love you, he says, you know how I feel. Instead of listening with patience, he sighs in frustration, as if even the truth will always surface. Lies may last for a while, but the truth, oh, the truth always finds its way to the light. It does not matter how well someone hides it, how many excuses they make, or how skillfully they deflect and deceive. Truth has a power that no lie can overcome. It may take time, it may take patience, but sooner or later, the mask will slip, the cracks will form, and what was hidden will be revealed. A man who is unfaithful may believe that he can outsmart the truth. He may think he can cover his tracks, spin convincing stories, and silence the doubts of those around him. He may feel invincible, confident that his deception is airtight. But here is the reality. Deception is exhausting. Lies require effort. A man who is dishonest must always be thinking ahead, always be adjusting his story, always be making sure that one excuse lines up with the next. And eventually, that burden becomes too heavy to carry. Have you ever noticed how the truth flows effortlessly, but a lie requires constant maintenance? The truth does not need to be rehearsed. It simply is. But a lie? A lie demands energy. It demands focus. It demands constant calculation. And no matter how skilled someone is at deception, no matter how convincing their words, you deserve honesty. And love is not meant to be a guessing game. It is not meant to leave you anxious, uncertain, or questioning your worth. True love is built on trust, on transparency, on the unwavering assurance that the person beside you is standing with you, not against you. And hear me when I say this. You deserve honesty and love, not doubt and deception. Too many people settle for less than what they deserve because they are afraid of losing what they have. They hold on to a love that no longer holds them back, hoping that one day things will change. They cling to the idea of who someone used to be, rather than accepting the painful reality of who they have become. But listen to me, love that requires you to beg for honesty is not love at all. A relationship that keeps you in a constant state of uncertainty is not a relationship worth keeping. A man who truly loves you will not leave you wondering where you stand. He will not give you half-truths and expect you to fill in the gaps. He will not make you feel guilty for wanting clarity, for wanting security, for wanting the simple assurance that his heart belongs to you and you alone. So let me ask you, what are you holding on to? Are you holding on to a love that strengthens you, that builds you up, that fills your heart with peace? Or are you holding on to something that leaves you restless, doubting, and searching for the truth in a sea of lies? Because you, my friend, were not made to live in confusion. You were not made to chase after someone who keeps running away. You were created for love that is real, for love that is whole, for love that does not require you to question your worth. If a man truly loves you, his love will not be hidden behind excuses, deflections, or emotional distance. His love will be clear. His words will be truthful. His actions will match his promises. Because love that is true does not make you anxious. It makes you secure. It does not make you feel small. It makes you feel cherished. And if you're not receiving that kind of love, then hear me now, you deserve better. The truth will always rise. Lies will crumble, deception will fail, but true love will stand. Do not be afraid to let go of what is false so that you can make room for what is real. Do not settle for anything less than the love and honesty you deserve, because when the right love finds you, it will not leave you questioning. It will not leave you in doubt. It will not leave you wondering. It will stand firm and unshaken, because love that is real has nothing to hide. Hold on to that truth, stand on it, and never, ever accept anything less.